Guys, Ron here once again. Today's topic is going to be boxing strategy, finding breakout stocks or breakout plays using volume. I just wanted to cover this. This is going to be an add-on slash bundle for the boxing strategy. If you're already using the boxing strategy, obviously you've seen some success. I have not heard anything but good news from everybody that took the course already, and everybody's been doing well and definitely making over 1% on average since they've taken the course. And I know some of you have actually doubled your accounts since taking the course. So I just wanted to share a new system that I use in conjunction with the boxing. If you already took the boxing course, you already have the system or indicator that automatically draws the box for you. All you have to do is make sure you're paying attention or have an alert set. What I'm adding now is basically a volume indicator to all of my watch lists so I don't miss the ones that have the most potential. And I wanted to share today's video because I was able to record it live so you guys can see how I was able to capture the Tesla move. I also was keeping an eye on Square, and I really wanted to trade it, but I didn't because it was sub $100, and based on the daily standard deviation or average true range that is expected for it, I didn't want to lock the money up on that trade and it not move enough to make a good amount of money. So I just didn't play that one today. But overall, it was a really good play had I taken it, since it was one of the stocks with the most volume right away from the beginning, in the beginning of the morning. Overall, Tesla was a really good play anyway. Once it broke the box, I was able to take advantage of it, and I did. So what I did was I closed out of the positions I had in force already before overnight. So I had ISRG and I had Google plays that I was playing on swing plays, and they were coming my way very nicely. But the plan for the day was that whichever one didn't go my way right away, I was going to get rid of immediately to free up the cash, since I am trading a cash account here for these plays here. So that you guys can see the proof of concept. So I'm trading the cash account. So I am limited to the 3 trades per day. So I can only do 3 trades, 3 day trades. So since I have 2 positions on already, those won't count as day trades. So whatever I put on today, and if I close it today, I got to be careful not to lock the account by doing more than 3. So let's just go ahead and cover it. So this is the system I use now that I started incorporating so that I find the best opportunities when it comes to the boxing strategy. That way, I'm playing the one that's actually going to work the best. So as you can see here, Tesla had 97% of volume already at the time I took this snapshot for the day. That is the above. It's at 97% of average volume for the last 30 bars, and this was early in the morning. I took this snapshot. So as you can see, a lot of these are not even close to that amount, except for QLYS here, which I'm not sure. I never even looked at that one. And then the other one that was very high was actually Square. And I don't see it here, but I'll show you guys on the video very shortly. So basically what I'm looking at on these, it's early in the morning. I'm looking for which one has over 15 to 20% within the first 10 minutes. And honestly, since I've been using this, within the first 5 minutes, you see the stocks break out on the day volume average over 20%, like in the first 5 minutes. That one has the players coming in. That's where everybody's trading. That's where everybody wants to be trading today. And that's how I've been picking my stocks that are going to break out early. Yesterday, one of the ones I was playing was TWLO, because it had massive amount of volume yesterday. Massive. So I was able to take advantage of that one very bright and early in the morning. Well, I saw it. I think I took it a little late because I had the funds locked up. But I caught it very early. And then we caught a lot of them on the massive breakdown in the afternoon, because you saw the volume coming in very fast. And you just see the volume pretty much increasing on this 10-minute column here. You'll see the volume increasing from 300 to 400 to 500, and you'll see that when you see that rapid change within a 10-minute bar, the volume and the buyers and or sellers are in. So depending on which way it's going, it just reinforces the move. So when you see that that volume is coming in after a specific pattern has been formed, let's say you have an evening star or doji or whatever, you know that the move is coming and is supported by the sellers. So that's why it reinforces my decisions to make my plays in whatever direction. And again, you remember we have a risk reward of 1 to 3 or 1 to 10, I mean. So we have 1 to 10 risk reward. So risk to reward So my stops are usually fairly close because my stops are usually the tops of the pattern. And in the boxing case is the top of the pre-market high and or the pivot depending on where it is. And I'll show you here shortly how today worked out on the plays that we did. All right. So this is what I'm using now. You guys will be able to pick this up on the links below. Anybody that got the box-in course before May 1st will get this add-on for free. For everybody else, full disclosure, if you are savvy at programming, you may be able to make this yourself. So you can do that yourself. It took me a while to figure this out, but I figured it out. And now that I got it working, it works. If you guys want to get it, you can get it from the links below, or you can make it yourself. But this has been a game changer and is definitely helping me out tremendously at picking which ones I'm going to trade right away, bright and early, before I miss the move. So here's Tesla. And again, as I mentioned before, if you've already taken the box-in course, you already have access to the pre-market levels, which will auto-draw the box for you. So you have obviously the pre-market high up here, and in this case I use Tesla down here instead of actually using the pre-market low because it's way too low. But Tesla obviously gapped up today. When I saw the volume coming in, as you can see when I took this snapshot, it's at 129% for the day. Early in the morning it broke 15% very early within the first candle. I was able to get it bright and early. Let's go ahead and take a look at what time I got that. I bought Tesla at 9:37. So I bought it within the first 10-minute candle. So I bought some puts. And obviously it was a nice ride down. And then I added to Tesla on the spike up here because my stop again was the pre-market high. That was my stop. So I added on the first candle. I added one. So I layered in, and you guys will see how I was able to layer in today. So I added one on this one. I added two on this one. And I added two on this one. Okay, so it was a nice play. I got stopped out of Tesla. Where did I get stopped out? So my stop at this point was roughly around here, or I think I moved it down to here. I gotta check. I think I moved it down to here. So I must have been stopped out here, and we'll see it on the video shortly. I can't remember where I got stopped out, but I definitely got stopped out, and I took my profits and I left two to run for the next day. So I think I got stopped out on this candle here, right here. When it spiked up, I took my stop, took my profits. I think I collected around $400 to $500 on the bigger chunk, which was the three. So on these three, I took my on the first three, I took my my profits on those, and then I left two for the next day because I still see the move down as the bigger potential. So the risk to reward again, honestly, even if I lose this entire position, it's not a big deal because I made a lot today, but I am expecting I'll continue to move lower. If not, I'll lose half of the position. I left $800 at work basically. So I left $800 at work. The position is currently against me, but overall I'm still up for the day on the entire position. So even though it's against me right now because I collected a good chunk of it, this position is still up even though it's against me right now. So for the PL day for Tesla right now, it's still in the green over $100. FYI, okay? At the time of this recording, which is 1:30, okay? The other pick I had today, my other favorite was actually Square. I mentioned that today. Look at the volume for the day. The volume for the day is at 306 at the time I took this snapshot. And as you can see, it actually had a very awesome move lower. You couldn't deny this move, you see? So if you're following the boxing course, you probably would not have been stopped out all the way until here. But honestly, after taking this nice move lower, you could have taken your profits as soon as you saw this pattern or this candle here. So you would have been stopped out anywhere around here just by the pattern being formed. That you could have taken your profits down there just because it was a good. But, you know, as you followed it down, you would have made a nice little profit on Square today. But again, I didn't trade it because it's just below $100, and I kind of want to put the money to work on something that's going to make a nicer move. So I chose Tesla over this one. But again, box is already auto-drawn for you. So when you see the volume spike, you would immediately click on the watch list. You come over here, you see that it broke the box to the downside. You take the position, and obviously you're off to the races from there. And then you apply the management system, as I've mentioned before. And you guys will be obviously making good profits on this one and Tesla already. And now you have your two trades for the day. All right. So again, let's go over some of the trades we took today. So today we collected profits on Google and we collected profits on ISRG. These were up over 1,800 as of the close of yesterday. Today I probably only collected around 600 on each, 4 to 600 on each, as they came back against me. I was expecting at least one of them to keep going my way, and I still believe the positions will go to my targets. But I wanted to be able to capture bigger profits by putting the money to work on others. So that's the only reason I exited these. Again, I'm trading a cash account and I am limited on the amount of trades. So I had to get out of these so that I can put the money to work on something that was going to move. So as you can see, I got out of Google. I freed up the money on Google, took my profits on that one so that I can put the money to work on Tesla. I added one. ISRG, I got out at 941 because it also started going against me. At 944, I added more Tesla. See, as you can see here, I added two more. I got rid of the other ISRG. And then I went ahead and started buying BKNG, added two more Teslas, and then I started getting Amazon at 10 o'clock. And later that day, I added W. I actually saw, which is Wayfair, very bright and early too. You'll see it on the video. I just kind of ignored it because I wasn't sure I wanted to play it, but I had an extra $200 to play with, so I said, what the hell, let's put it to work. And then at 11:43, we started collecting our profits. As you can see here, Amazon hit our limit order. And BKNG. With BKNG, I'm actually a little upset because I wanted to capture my profits at the pivots. But when I set my order, and you'll see on the video shortly, it was at the pivots. My limit order was at the pivots, but it brought it up because the value of the contracts increased. So if I would have caught it sooner, I would have kept increasing my value to maybe $25 or $30. So I could have captured a bigger difference because I think the most I saw at the pivots maybe was $26, $27, or $28, the value for the same contracts. But it's all right. I still made a decent profit. I made a decent profit on all of these. I'm pretty sure I captured over $2,500 today. So we'll see how we did. And this is Amazon. This is the Amazon play here. So again, I got into Amazon around 950, which was this candle here. This 950 candle here. This is a 5-minute chart. I must have got it literally at the bottom here. But the volume wasn't where I wanted it to be overall for the day. It wasn't really that crazy. As you can see, it's only at 63 by the time I hit this this snapshot. But I wasn't too crazy about Amazon, but I still felt that it was going to go lower for the day. My stop for it was a break above the pivot. So if it would have closed above the pivot, that was my stop. And my target was my limit order was down here at the pivot, which obviously, so the risk reward, again, I'm risking from here to here is my risk. And then my profits are this distance here. So as you can see, obviously my risk to reward is significantly bigger. My reward is significantly bigger than my risk. So that was the play, and it obviously did hit my limit order down here. So it was a good play today. So let's go ahead and get into the video so that you guys can see how it turned out. All right, guys, here we go. This is a long one. So you can see here we started the day up around 1,800 quickly since Google and ISRG started to go against me. I was paying attention to them because the only thing I was looking at was basically whether I was gonna keep one of the two to run. But the plan was to get rid of one of them if it just wasn't going my way. But as you can see here, I'm clicking on this left column a lot. I'm just trying to find the stocks that have a lot of volume coming in. So I clicked on NVIDIA, over 10,500 right away on the 10-minute. Tesla caught my eye, obviously, because I had 37% right away as the morning started. I mean, we're barely, a minute into the session, and it's already at 38%. So obviously, this is where the players are. And as you saw, the columns take quite a little bit of time to actually adjust. So as I click around a lot of them, you see that it says 154%. So I'm obviously jumping right over to it. But in fact, it's just that the column takes a little bit of time to adjust because my computer's running so much. But Tesla definitely was at 41% at this time. So I was like, okay, this is going to be the mover. It's going to be the mover for today. And this is the time, I believe I sent it to everybody, 9:34, 42% on Tesla. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and get rid of my Google since it was starting to rally. And I said, let me go ahead and collect my profits on it. I ended up collecting somewhere around $520, I believe, on it. But it sucks because the PL day still says that I was down on it for it because it's less than what I was up initially or from the day prior. But overall, I obviously collected over 520 on it. So I decided to put that money to work on Tesla right away. So I initiated my position at this point. I went ahead and started adding, and I got one contract here at 245. So I got the 245 strikes. I tried to get below the mid, but the price kept dropping. So I got a good feel initially. Anyway, I felt good, comfortable with it. So, but I tried to put in my order below the mid, as you saw there. But the price just happened to have been dropping at the same time. So it is what it is. So I kept looking around. I saw Square was also around the same amount of volume for the day. It was at 43% already, 16,000 for the 10-minute candle. So I decided to take a look at it. The only issue with Square was that I was paying attention was I wasn't happy with the overall movement that is expected for it. So as you can see up here, the standard deviation for one day is about what, $1.67 or something like that. So and yes, on days like this, I am expecting it to move a little bit more because it just had earnings, but I don't know how much more. So I wasn't comfortable putting the money or locking the money up on this stock because I wanted to put it to something that I know has a bigger standard deviation or a bigger average true range overall. So I figured, hey, let me go a little bit heavier on Tesla, and that was purely based on one, it broke the box to the downside. So again, if you guys are familiar with the boxing strategy, you already know it broke to the downside. Two, it has significant volume straight from the beginning in the morning. So I said, okay, this is the one I'm gonna play with, and I went ahead and was about to start adding more, but then I saw ISRG was also heading higher, so I went ahead and started layering out of that position, and I closed out one of the strikes at this point here, collected some profits, and the ones I took out were the ones that were most at risk. So I took out the ones that were collecting around 145 bucks on those, and I let the other ones in for a potential reversal lower, which is still going my way. So I left those in for a continued move lower if it was to continue my way. All right, then Wayfair caught my eye based on the volume. It was pretty high for the day already. It was at 55% for the day. So pretty early, 9:41 already. We're looking at Wayfair because it was looking good already. And I was like, okay, maybe I want to play this one. But I kind of just decided to keep my focus on Tesla. So I went ahead and layered in once again. Same strike. I went in and added some more at a better price at the same strike because the overall move is still the same. And I believed that the move down was the move to be played. My stop is still the same. My target is still the same. I just added at a different strike. So my targets are still down there by the pivots. And my stop is obviously the pre-market high. So that's all it is. Here it is. I'm analyzing the daily to see where I want to target for the longer term. So I'm targeting around 230. It's really where I want to go, unless I get stopped out, obviously. And my stop is pretty much the pre-market high. So that's a pretty long distance compared to my stop. So here we go. ISRG. This point I saw it rallying too much. It gave away another $100. So I decided to go ahead and take the rest of my profit at this point here. And just take my profits on that. So around $400 to $500 on ISRG, $400 or $520 on Google. So already locked in around $1,000. So not a bad day's work already. So now that I freed up that cash, and since this is a cash account, and the place we're in from the day prior, this would not count as a day trade. I went ahead and decided to put the money to work on something else. So I started searching. Again, Square kept catching my eye. I mean, this was the play. It was definitely doing well, but I just felt I needed to get way too many to make a decent profit. So I just did not take the trade. That's all it was on with this one. I was already in for what? 4 contracts, I believe, on Tesla. Or maybe 5. I'm not sure if I had already added the third one. The third time. Let's take a look here. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to add one more time here. So now that Tesla is going my way, I added on the initial candle, on the first 10-minute candle, and I added on the second 10-minute candle when it broke a little bit higher and it was going against me. And here I decided to add one more time now that the move was confirmed to the downside. So I went ahead and selected a different strike at this time, so that I can take advantage and have a full position of 5 contracts. That was going to be my full position sign for Tesla today. Here, well, I just noticed I was on the wrong strike date. And normally I would not recommend getting the same week's expiration after Wednesdays, but since I had already made the mistake, I decided to just do all of mine on the same week. But normally I would say, especially after Wednesdays, just get next week's expiration, or at least 2 weeks out. It's just going to give you more opportunity to, one, to be more patient, and two, to be able to adjust if necessary. If the thing starts to go against you, you'll have more options as far as being able to convert it to a spread or something like that and adjust. There's just so many ways you can adjust with options. So that's all it is. Here, BKNG caught my eye. I was actually watching it from the day prior. It was on my list of wants to trade for the day. So I went ahead and jumped in, and I went ahead and added my target right away. My target was around the pivot right away there. So as you can see, my limit order was in as soon as I got filled, and that was that for BKNG. Obviously, you guys know I got filled way before it hit the pivot. So had I known that the price was going to change that much, I would actually adjust it. Here we go. I added to Tesla one more time. That was the last time I added to Tesla. This time at a different strike. So now I'm in for 5 full contracts on Tesla. 3 at 245 and 2 at 242.5. And here we go. Now that the move is confirmed, I am going lower. And again, my targets are the pivots going lower. Okay. So here we go. Now we're monitoring Tesla. And that's all it is. Now we're on management mode. So again, if you guys taking the course, now you know what system I use to manage, and that's just following my stops down with the 30-minute highs. And that's all it is. And now I'm just watching and trying to see if there's any other opportunities I can take advantage of. So let's go ahead and move forward here. Amazon was also going my way. Let's take a look at Amazon here. Amazon was also on my list of wants to trade from the night prior, so I had to go ahead and take a look at it. So it's one of my favorite stocks to trade, because Amazon, when it moves, and so is BKNG. So when these things move, they move. So, all right, let's see. Take a look at one more time here. All right, so got a week out, obviously. Here we go. I was able to make sure I paid attention to that. Got the next week out, and I put in my trade. Again, my target, as you can see, my alert is set at 1922.5. That's my stop. A close above the pivot is going to be my stop. And as you can see, I got in right at the low of that candle, like I said, and this thing started immediately going against me. But the plan is the plan. So I got in. Now my stop is a break above that pivot on the high side, and my limit is going to be the green pivot on the bottom side. Okay, so again, there's a lot of buying, or not a buying, a lot of selling pressure going on today. So as you guys saw today, everybody had a good time today. The VIX was rising, the tick was pounding away at the minus 500 level today. And like I said yesterday, the trend ended up closing above 2.0, which signifies that, hey, if the market fails to rally the next day, we are looking for a continued sell-off for days to come. And that's exactly what it did today. It failed to rally initially. So honestly, I wanted to play a lot of these stocks to the long side, but they just failed to give me the juice or the energy that's required for these things to keep going higher. And that's all it is, guys. You know, so with the action yesterday after that FOMC or Fed minutes or whatever meeting we had yesterday, you guys saw that the initial reaction was to the upside. And usually, you guys have been trading for a while, you will know that the initial reaction is usually the fake reaction. So basically, when it went up as the initial reaction, then it started to sell off. Then it's probably going to continue to sell off. And then the day yesterday obviously finished in the red. A lot of stocks started to sell off hard yesterday, which obviously bled over to today. So here we go. I had paused the video and skipped over because it's a 2-hour-long video. But here we fast forwarded. Tesla's already pretty much crumbling down. As you can see here, we're moving lower. And Tesla's going my way. I mean, I'm patient. This is the time to be patient, guys. When you're making money, it's the time to be patient. So as you can see here, Tesla is just going my way very, very smoothly. There is no reason to panic. There is no reason to start saying, oh, let me take my profits because I'm getting one green little candle here. No, guys. This is the time to be patient. When you're in the green and you are making money, it is time to be patient and let your winners run. Because this is the only way you're going to have those big winners that overall overtake those losers that you have. Because you're going to get stopped out a lot. You know, you will get stopped out a lot. So when you have a winner and something is coming your way and you see volume supporting the trade, you have to be patient. You have to stick with it. And you have to know that the plan works. You drew two lines. You have a stop and you have a limit. Let it hit one of the limits. Let it hit one of the targets. And as you follow your trade down or up, depending which way we're trading, let it hit one of the targets. That's all it is, okay? So again, I kept going back and forth, checking out all these different stocks. Wayfair here, this is when it really caught my eye because the volume went over 102. And I really wanted to take it there, but I just didn't. Not sure. Wasn't 100% fed on it or, sure on it, but it was 102%. I wanted to take it. I kept going back to Square. At this point, I definitely wasn't going to take it because I was already out. And that's it. So here we go. Tesla started bouncing off the pivot. This is the time where a lot of people would get scared and like, okay, this thing is going against me now. And this is the time that I tell you to be patient. Pay attention to everything. Do your scan. Look at what the markets are doing. Look at what the tick is doing. Look at what the VIX is doing. What are the markets doing? What are the other FANG stocks doing? Tech stocks, auto industry. What is the sector for this particular stock doing overall so that you can kind of make a better decision? If you want to be done because it's 11 o'clock in the morning, that's fine. But overall, if you have a plan, stick to the plan and follow it. And always wait for the close of the candle. That's one of my rules personally. Because if I'm looking at this here, for example, yes, it hit the pivot, and I tell you guys, pivots are strong. This is why I use them as targets as I start to layer out of my positions, because pivots are strong, and this thing is going to hang around this pivot for a while. But overall, my target is not this pivot, is actually the purple pivot for the first one, and then obviously the green pivot on the second one. Why? Because there's a lot of volume in Tesla today, and I want to see it move lower. So I'm going to be patient with it. So as you can see here, I went up from being $1,400 to back down to $900, $820. And it is what it is. I'm going to stick to my plan because that's the only way I'm going to be able to capitalize on those days where I make $5, $7, $10, $15, or $20,000 because I have to be patient with these. I can't keep getting squeezed out every time I see a little green candle. Stop getting focused on the upticks when you're playing puts and being focused on the downticks when you're playing calls. Stick to your plan. You drew two lines. Stick to the plan. Let it hit one or the other. Yes, you will get stopped out. Yes, now all of them will be winners. Yes, you will be up sometimes $500, $1,000, $2,000 and only end up making half of that or a quarter of that. It's fine. It's part of the plan. But if you don't stick to the plan and you get in the habit of taking your profits too early, you're never going to experience those $3, $5, $10, $15, or $20,000 days because you're not sticking to the plan that overall will produce those results. And that's all I'm saying. Overall, I stuck to my plan. Tesla, obviously, as you can see here, retraced as far as $400, $300. But it did come back down my way, as you guys will see here shortly. And obviously, you guys know that everything else as well came back fairly well for me. So NVIDIA was also an awesome play. As you can see that there, it was a great fake out to the downside. It hit the pivot and it bounced right off of it, and then it rallied for the entire day. It had great volume. It didn't come up on my radar fast enough this morning for me to catch it, but it would have been a great off of the pivot play if we would have been able to catch that, obviously, onto the upside. Or even if you would have went to the short side and then you saw that it was going higher, you could easily have reversed your position size and went on the other side and just bought calls. Because obviously NVIDIA had a great rally today. So here's Tesla again. It's still rallying, coming against me. But again, I got in so early. This is not even close to putting me in the red overall for my entire position. As you can see, my 345s or my one... what strikes are these? My 245s are still in the green. So my overall position is still green. So I'm not uncomfortable. I'm going to let this play out. It's not even close to my stop yet. So I'm okay, and I'm going to let it play. Again, I move my stops along with the 30-minute candles, and that's all it is, guys. Now I'm just gonna stick to my plan and follow it along as I've laid it out. All right, so let's see here. As you can see here, Amazon is coming in the green for me, and BKNG is just stuck in time, minus 85 bucks. And this Amazon and BKNG are both just 1 and 1. Again, the markets were having a strong pressure to the downside. The tick kept getting pounded to the downside, as you guys saw all day today. So I was fairly confident in all my positions. And as you can see here, I've mentioned this before. So I got out of my two initial positions, which were Google and ISRG. And I only went up as high as having 4. I did not want to have any more. Right now I have 3, which are Tesla, Amazon, and BKNG. And that was it, guys. Okay. I did not want to have more than that. And then on another account, I did have an AMGN account, AMGN spread that we were monitoring, but that's all it is. That was on a separate account. But on my active account here that I'm trading actively for the day, as you can see, I'm trying to keep it limited to just a few positions that I'll be able to manage with ease, and I don't have too many contracts. You know, it's just something to hit my 1% for the day. You know, I've already collected over my 1% with my Google and ISRG. So that is locked in already for the day, no matter what. So now all I'm doing is everything now is just extra. And, you know, I don't mind taking extra profits if I can. Everything is in the green for the most part. So that's all I'm doing here, guys. Okay. Shopify also had a great rally today, 73% of volume at this time, which is 1050. So obviously that would have been a great play, and it was a clean box break as well. And as you can see here, you probably would never have been stopped out at all until it got to this point here. And then that's all it is. Here we go. Wayfair, as you can see, obviously we had it pegged 5 candles ago when it gave us that massive red. And obviously, as you can see here, this is when it started to move again, continue to move lower. I decided to jump in at this time with just one measly contract to leave it on for the next day. And that's it. You know, hey, if I can get an extra $100 on something, I had an extra $200 to play with, so I put them to play on Wayfair, and that's all that was. But I put the limit. I put my bid, my order in at the bid. So if I got filled, I got filled. If I didn't, I didn't. And they obviously give it to me at the bid. So as you can see, as soon as it got filled, I was instantly in the green. That's because the mid was way higher than my order. So as you can see there, I was up $27 as soon as that got filled, and that was because I put my order in at the bid, and I let them come and fill me at that price if they wanted to. And if they didn't, I was okay with it. But if they did fill me at that price, so. I was happy with that. And, you know, I wasn't going to close it the same day. Again, this is a cash account, and I don't want to get the account locked by over trading. And so that one is for the next day. And here we go. Tesla again coming back our way. And once again, up over $1,200. And let's check it out here. All right, so at this point, everything's in the green. Over $600 on Amazon, over $100 on BKNG and Rising. Tesla over $700 itself, and Wayfair at $35 so far, guys. So everything's going our way. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. The markets are pretty much coming down and treating us well today. So it was definitely a fun day. So at this time, what I'm looking at is for reassurance, and I'm taking a look at everything, what the markets are doing to support our play. So this is what I'm looking at this time. I'm taking a look at what the markets are doing. So the tick, again, reconfirming that the moves are lower. The tick is pounding away minus 500, and the 5MA is pretty much hitting the 500 mark, and the VIX is rising. I'm expecting it to hit that top pivot there. All right, then we're going to take a look at the stocks I'm looking at, and I'm actively trading. All my limits are in right around the pivots. So Tesla at the pivot, BKNG at the pivot, and Amazon at the pivot. So everything is in order and the way I need it to be, and that's all it was. So here we go. I adjusted my order for Amazon because my limit kept coming up as it was moving down hard. I was not able to catch this on BKNG, unfortunately, and I actually got taken out well before it hit the pivot. But it is what it is. Still made a decent profit, so I can't complain. but everything else just started hitting my profits here. So obviously Amazon over $1,000 at this point. I finished it out, I believe, at 1338. BKG finished out at around 500 and something dollars. So there you go. Amazon got filled at 1338. And then shortly after, BKG came along and did the same. So that's pretty much it for today's, guys. This is a fairly simple system to follow. Once again, if you have not taken the box in course, go ahead and check out the links below. This was a highly profitable day. It was easy to find those stocks with the help of the volumes being displayed on my watch list. So now that pretty much changed the game for me, and it will do the same for you. So make sure you bundle up. Go ahead and click the links below. Make sure you take advantage of the box in trading course. It definitely will give you a system and a structure to follow, which is what most people lack when they're trading. When they start trading, you don't have a plan, you don't have a system to follow. I can tell you from personal experience because that was my problem. So just be conscious of that as you're learning, and always be learning. So last of all, as you can see here, Tesla was the last play of the day. It failed to continue to break those pivots, so I just got stopped out and I took my profits for the rest of the day. And I was done for today. I believe I finished over $2,500. And that's two winning days back to back, 3 days back to back, 4 days back to back, obviously. So as you guys can see, it's not hard to do when you have the right tools, the right plan behind you. So go ahead and check it out, guys. I'm pretty sure you won't regret it. Look at the reviews, ask the guys. Go ahead and join us on Discord. That's where everybody is. Everybody's helpful. Everybody's here to help. So once again, here's the last play. Tesla, boom, took 3 of my contracts at 245 out. And I left the 242.50s to play for the rest of the day, going into tomorrow for a potential continued move lower. At this point, I'm not worried about the money that I have playing on it because I've made a significant profit today. So I am willing to risk $800 for a potential continued move lower. In the event that it doesn't move lower or goes against me, I'll take a small loss, maybe half, $300 to $400. But that is part of my plan at this point. So I took my profits on the bigger chunk and collected over $500 on Tesla as well right there. I was expecting to continue to move lower on Tesla. It just didn't do it. Being that it has so much volume. As you guys can see here, this is why I use these pivots. They're very, very strong points of reference, and that's why I use them as targets to take profits. But anyway, guys, this is it. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. Go ahead and check out the links below, and I will see you guys on the next one.